Hey, what up, everyone? Thanks for being here today. We've got quite a few people on the stream right now, and you can see I have Udit right here. Let me just share the link um, in case any of you want to join the chat. So I think this is going to be an interesting session right here. Okay, we've already have someone. We've got Muhammad Ali, right? He says, seriously, stop hanging out with scammers. What do you have to say about that, right, Udit?
Well, why is he here then?
Right, we already have some haters in here. A hi, Sijo, right? Sijo is in here as well. So Satchwal is saying, hey, is anyone getting sued today? Right. So we're going to address all these issues, right?
Mhm.
Um, because there are a lot of people talking about um like you are throwing lawsuits out there. Of course we'll address this later. You don't have to talk about all this right now. We're going to be addressing some of this issue, and of course there's the issue with Tascade, and I think some people are um obviously overwhelmed by the pricing of some of your lifetime deals as well. So we're going to talk about all this as
Sure.
well, right? So so we've got people. Sijo is saying he thought that you will be revealing some Black Friday's deal. Maybe you could give us some insights as well. Okay,
Yeah,
so
sure. You can ask every single question. I'll answer every single one of them. Provided I'm just not going to name anyone in particular, but I'm going to answer every question. So I'm going to keep every
awesome.
single any sort of name because of any sort of legal issues or anything. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to address that person with A, B, C, something like that.
Awesome, awesome, great. So we, thanks everyone for being on this stream, right? I'm Henry Ho. I'm a digital marketer and e-commerce business owner. And in my free time, I like to play with LTDs and see if I can apply them in my business, right? And Udit right here, this is my guest today. He's from Pitchground. He's the founder of Pitchground, and Pitchground is based on what I've seen, they seem to be the second largest lifetime deal marketplace right outside of AppSumo. They've got some really awesome lifetime deals. Personally, I guess my favorite would be Scalify and ScaleNut. I think Scalify is ending soon, so if anyone who's interested, the link is on the post itself. Go ahead and click on it, and you can purchase some of these highly recommended tools from myself, right? So Udit, do you want to share a little bit about yourself? How did Pitchground came about?
Yeah,
Yep,
sure. I would
go ahead.
love to share a bit of my journey, how I got started, and what made me actually build Pitchground. So I started my career
Yep.
about 14 years ago when I was just 16 or 17. I think at 16 is when I started learning about Photoshops, and that's what got me into the whole internet world. Prior to that, like I was heavy into gaming, and that's what excited me about graphics in general. So I started learning how to design logos and everything initially when I was 16, 17, and ended up landing my first project. It was a customer from Israel. Got paid for it, and then that led to a lot more opportunities. So after that, in about next 2 years, I ended up working with WordPress plugin, security plugin back in those days. So the limit login type of like WordPress plugins that you see right now, I ended up building one long back with a person, and then made an exit from that specific project very long back. It was on Warrior Forum. If anyone wants to check out, they'll probably like find out about it. So after that, once I made an exit from that, I took a break of about a year while I was also working and learning how to develop applications. I was building applications, and that's where I met my first co-founder, whose name is Oscar. He's still in the co-founder at Pitchground, by the way. I met him. We took about a year to sort of build a good relationship. While I was also looking, and I was also doing my master's in computer application then. So I after completing my first year, because I was way ahead in terms of what I knew, I decided to drop out of my master's and flew down to Los Angeles because my co-founder asked me to fly down over there, and we started working on a very first project, which was known as Power Up Hosting, and that was the first real company that was a registered company that we persuaded, and we started growing it very aggressively. And primarily, we were building cloud infrastructures for SaaS companies and VPN companies. That's when my interest for SaaS spiked up even further, and that led to more opportunities. And that's when I started building up a lot of relationship in Los Angeles because I was over there for a good number of years. And meanwhile, I started building up my very first SaaS from there, which was known as GoPBN, which was a PBN hosting platform. So when we started building up those applications, we reached to a market cap of over a million very quickly in less than a year's time in subscription. But then came a plateau point where we entered in such a niche SaaS market that it was very hard to grow then from further. And we were thinking whether we should be providing services or not, or whether we should just stick with products. And that's when I decided that I'm a product guy. I'm not going to get into services at all. So that's when I decided that I had a word with my co-founder, and we decided to end up selling that particular entire company and a project. We made an exit from there. Right after that, we made an exit from Power Up Hosting at the same time, and that's when I started working on Funnelbake, which to date is what led to Pitchground. So when I launched Funnelbake, I was being misguided by the individual. I'm not going to name people; must know where I launched, so people could figure out. We have a smart community. I was completely misguided by the person, and I was being persuaded to launch while the product was in alpha stage. I was being told a lot of things that I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and it was completely new for me. I'd never done. I didn't even know about lifetime deals. And that's exactly when like I came to know about AppSumo as well. I think it was back in 2017. So while the project was in alpha, I was being pushed to launch the product, and I think, the first company to launch with that individual, and that's probably why like I was being pushed and forced. And I personally didn't know what to do. I fell into the trap of, okay, if someone is going to pay for Alpha Project to fund the project, then why not go ahead? And that's when I made a big mistake. And this is something that I have openly confessed to everyone, that was, and that is still date, the biggest mistake of my life as a founder. And I have no shame in saying that again, because that is a mistake that I made. And if I make a mistake, I would owe to it at every single point. So that's when Funnel Bake kind of like just kept on tanking out in a very unique way, where I got cheated with by my previous CTO. A lot of issues that happened within the company because of him. The product quality was not good. A lot of things just kept on happening one after the other, to a point where I ended up losing about over $200,000 of my own money from that particular project. And it came to a point where I couldn't put in and pour in more money. So what I did was I ended up getting it rebuilt very recently. By the way, the projects are still up. Whatever projects that we are doing, it's still up and running. I'm going to come to that in just a moment. So Funnel Bake is was and is my biggest failure till date. And when that happened, I went into a very heavy depression as an individual, uh, on a lot of levels, and I had a massive mental trauma because I was dealing with a lot of hate. And while I understand people were right on their part, but trolling and trolls and a lot of things happened, and that really hit me to a point where I was in a very heavy mental depression. And I started consulting a couple of doctors over here, just started speaking with them. That I was also thinking at a point that I want to end my life. It came to that point. And those consultations actually helped me a lot on many levels, because people don't realize that you attacking someone for a mere 20, 30, $40 can actually have a massive impact on someone's life, right? While not realizing on many of those mental trolls, it's easy to talk shit and crap about people, right? But when it comes to getting that shit on you, people don't realize that it's just not that easy to handle things, right? And again, if I make a mistake and I made the mistake, I have openly confessed those mistakes many times. I've written posts about the same, but I've always told my customers that give me time, I'll make things right. Just give me time for that to happen. And that's when I started researching more about this industry, as SaaS as an industry, right? Not lifetime, but SaaS as an industry. I landed up an article from Lighter Capital, which is the biggest step fund VC in the world, based out of US, and they said that 92% of the SaaS companies fail every year. That means every 100 SaaS companies that comes out, about 92 company fails and 8 companies succeeds. That stat blew my mind away, because that's when I felt myself in that 92%, and I was like, people are losing money, there's job losses, there is revenue losses, there is a lot of challenges. And that's when I decided that I'm going to work things out and I'm going to build Pitchground's business model is very different from AppSumo, by the way. And I'm not going to go very detailed into that and share our trade secret in terms of how we do things. But we use it as an initial value proposition to get into the market, as a marketing tool, basically. So that's when I started researching more about it. I ended up building up an MVP for Pitchground, and it took me about 2 months. So coming from that development background, this was another mistake that I made, that when building Funnelbake, I did not involve myself into the development process. I was more engaged into the operational sides of the stuff, and that's when I realized that I am not an operational person. I That failure led me to realize a lot of things. By the way, the project is still up and running because we redid the entire project. We just haven't like launched it yet. So anyone who wants to access it, it's now accessible under app.forsales.io. People can just log in and continue using the product. So my current CTO and co-founder Lucas, we ended up rebuilding the whole app, and maybe I think probably like next year, by mid of next year, we'll be relaunching the entire project. So, and again, we have always handsomely rewarded our users. So meanwhile, when we built communication as a product, we reached out to every single of our customers and told them, you have free access for life. We gave out a workspace worth $1,200 for each one of them, even if they've paid us $50. That's something that we did. We have always taken care of our customers at every level. And again, I have been a bootstrap guy. I've never raised any sort of capital from anywhere or any places, right? Even the losses that I handled, I know like how I did it. And again, on many of those levels, but again, I would always try and do to go beyond for our customers in every single way possible. But then I don't take trolls anymore, right? Because when I went through that situation and I was ready to give up on my life, right? And this is something that if you guys have heard, if any of you have been on my Twitter Spaces recently, you would be you would have heard me saying the exact same thing, because I was initially embarrassed to open up and start speaking about it. But as I kept moving forward in life, I thought it's very important to speak this out, because it's easy to talk shit and crap about someone, right? It's very easy to label someone, but I generally don't like labeling people, because if I start doing that, there is going to be a lot of real truth that will come out, and I generally don't prefer that. So coming back to like taking care of our customers, because that's what matters to me, and that's what matters to me the most. And I will always make sure that my first priority and focus is taking care of our customers. So we ended up building communication, and the first thing that we did was we did not announce it anywhere except for the funnel bake user. But at the same time, we also have an amazing project that we use every single day, which is known as Caslet. And we reached out to every single of those person, and we gave them a free license. Not only that, there was a side project that I made, which was known as Flame Domain. We sold that project out because it just did not have the vision that I wanted. Because many times you end up building projects that doesn't align to your future vision. And we again reached out to all of those users and gave them almost 12x value worth of software for free. We did that. If you guys go ahead in any of these groups or posts, you will see year 2 year old post, about a year and a half old post in all of these groups. We constantly reached out to people, letting take advantage of this. It's a brilliant project. So if you guys see that live chat on our application on our website at Pitchground, we are using our own software communication for that, and we have been rolling out, and we are very soon about to roll out version 2, I think by April of next year. And version 2 is going to be some very serious stuff at communication. We have been building it. We use waterfall model, so we build out the whole project first, and then we move forward instead of going agile. So that's why we don't push of like updates so very frequently as compared to any other company in general, because it will still take us about 3 years of additional time working on communication as well, to complete the project to a point where we can actually go agile from there. So for the first 3 years, we'll still have to stick with the waterfall model based on the kind of complexity of the project is. So again, we have always taken care of our customers, always, every single time. Now, when I started pushing on Pitchground, we had our first biggest mistake at Pitchground, which was wrong tech, right? So I will be addressing the first issue over here. The first issue was with regards to the initial affiliates not getting paid, or there was wrong stuff. I'll be very open about it. It was the blunder of the software. We were using a very popular tool. Again, you guys can probably like check it out. So we were using this first promoter, and first promoter had a massive issue with the software, where they did not start tracking the conversions properly, where instead of putting in every single campaign, right? So we have one product and we call it one campaign or project. And the problem with first promoter was that they were not able to handle that distribution of sales properly. So a sale from second software will probably show in first project, and first will show in the third project. I had a very in-depth discussion with the founder over chat, and it came to a conclusion that he simply told us that we are not a right fit and we had to move. But that was the first real issue that we had. We had openly told people about this problem, that look, this is a tech problem. We cannot do anything except for trying to rectify it by moving forward to another project or another software, while every single one of them got paid out, right? Everyone who met the criteria, everyone was paid out. If anyone can come back and say they were not paid and can prove that, right, I'm going to give them double the money of what I owe. I am telling this live in video. So give me a proof, right? Not just words, because all of the things that I see, all the chattering that I see everywhere are just blunt words, because they did not realize and they did not get how quickly Pitchground really grew, right? So at this point of stage, I'm like, give me the proof, because I'm not going to take shit anymore. I was quiet for the first 2.5 years of Pitchground, right? Even when some of the people were talking random shit, I just kept on moving forward. And look where we are today. We're the second fastest growing marketplace for SaaS in the world right now. And the pace that we are growing, we are almost growing at 240% on year basis right now. Why is that happening, right? Because we take care of our customers. Growth will not happen if we would have done any kind of shit. And when mistakes happen, which can happen with any startup, with any company, mistakes can happen. We do come up and over our mistakes, and that's something that we have done multiple times. Now, that's when once that was happened, this some of our competitors, again, I'm not going to name anyone, who are running some Facebook groups, took that as an opportunity to use our name, because we were growing very very aggressively, to use our name to leverage our name to grow their brand, right? And this is a very dirty strategy to do. But again, everyone has a different way of doing things, and that's up to them. I'm not going to blame them or anything. If they are using our name to grow, then that just means we are way bigger than them at this point of stage. So that started happening, and they just started spreading false rumors. Some people started making like stupid personal comments about me and my life and what is going on. And it was just funny to me at that point of stage that I just started ignoring those people, and I just kept on moving forward, and it kept on growing at every single level, because I'm a hyper growth person at this stage. I'm a very positive person. After coming out of the depression, I was very clear that I am just going to focus on growth. I'm going to keep away myself from any sort of negativity, because I know what I went through it. I was about to give up my life, and I'm not going to go through that shit again in my life. I apologize for my words, but that was my situation at that point of stage. So I was very clear that I'm going to check out every single negative person in my life. I'm not going to be bothered about it, because that is sucking out soul of my life, and that's not what I want, right? I have been growing very aggressively, and I'm happy with that. Today we have crossed 200,000 users at Pitchground, and this growth rate is almost 20% on month for us. And we're going to continue growing this for at least for the next 3 years at the very least. Post that, our growth will probably slow down before it starts going up once again. So we're going to continue focusing on that. And meanwhile, Then came one of the most popular so-called issue that you guys are probably heard about, right? Which is someone saying that we scammed them for $3,000. Like, are you freaking kidding me? We are freaking making millions of dollars and we're gonna scam someone for $3,000. That is the most stupidest shit anyone would ever say, right? Now, here is the actual story. The person referred us fake customers. Those customers ended up refunding from us, and this guy threatened us that pay me or else I'm gonna start talking shit about you, right? And he right away after that, in just few months, ended up building up his brand. He kept on pushing members to his group, right? And as soon as he kept on pushing members to his group, he started selling software to you guys. Voila, right? So, what do you think? People over here who fell into the trap, you really need to reevaluate what has really happened over here, right? Because if we're growing at this pace, this user base, everyone is happy. We have worked with over 120 companies and we have 600 companies in our pipeline. If all of them are working with us, do you want to believe one person who's going to talk crap, or do you want to believe thousands of people and thousands of our customers? I'm going to leave that decision up to you guys, because again, this talk is about me coming in and owning up to my mistakes and letting you guys know what's happening, what's not happening. Because again, I have not openly come into any video or any interview and talk about this. I did post about all of these things in Alston's group, specifically about what happened last year as well. And everything is over there with all the proofs. Everything is available. You guys can go contact Alston for everything, right? I laid out everything because a lot of lies was being spread around, and I had to go out there and let everyone know what's really happening, right? Because again, when I went into that depression and when I came out, I told myself I'm not going to go through that shit again, and I'm not going to go into depression. That's why I kept focusing on just growth. And when these chatter started again this time, I have changed as an individual, especially because after last month, when my entire family was hit with COVID, my dad was in hospital for almost 8 days. My situation was so critical that my oxygen level had dropped very massively. I realized that life is too short, and I'm not gonna take shit again from anyone. I'm gonna come out there. I'm gonna be very blunt about the situations, right? Because that's what people are expecting, and that's what I'm gonna deliver to people. That's how I have been. So that's how I have grown, and that's what led to the build of Pitchground. Now in this journey, right, there were, again, I wouldn't call it mistakes, but different experiences. The first real experience was with regards to orders, right? A lot of people are upset about it. So we are a marketplace. We do all the due diligence, right? We try our best to ensure that your purchases are safe, and nothing happens and you can just continue using the software. We always ensure that, but we are a marketplace. In the end, we are not the end company building those softwares, or we have zero involvement, or even, for example, our competitor has zero involvement in any of the company at any point of stage. So this is why that if a company goes out of drain, right, it is very hard for a marketplace to do anything, because when you buy from a marketplace is just being a facilitator, right? Yet yet as a startup, as a 1.5 year old startup, because when that happened we were 1.5 years old. When that happened, we ended up refunding everyone, and we gave communication software to everyone, and we took a hit of over $100,000 for a startup. That was massive. Right now, how did we get that money? We didn't have that sort of a money. I freaking ended up taking a loan for it to make that happen, right? And I resolved that issue once again. It took us a month and a half to really resolve it, because it was a big issue, right? It was a massive challenge for us. I resolved it for everyone. And that's why the customers who experience that, they know we took care of them. They are not the ones who are talking anything. It's the competitors, right? It's the small haters, that the cult that some of these people have built. They are the ones who are talking about it. They're not even our customers. Any, like, I would say, like, there might be like 1% of the customers who are not happy. But again, we try our best, but it's not possible for us to keep everyone happy and stick to everyone's expectation. We have to ensure that we deliver to maximum, but it is just impossible for any company or any brand to have and keep everyone happy. It's just impossible. So those that was one of the mistakes, but again, we took care of it, right? Then again, something recently happened with Swipe Bucket. We refunded people right away. There was another question that was raised by someone. We refunded people 50%, and the product is still up and running, by the way. You can still go ahead and use a second project. That means you just got a nice 50% discount, right? Which otherwise you wouldn't have. So we again took care of our customers. But the problem is, many of these people want to highlight and glorify on maybe one mistake, but they don't want to talk about any sort of the good things that we have done in the community. I freaking do a webinar every week. I shell out every single of my energy helping people out, right? And making sure that they succeed and their business succeed. How many of these people have done that? How many of single growth webinar that they have done except for selling people? Every webinar that I do, if you guys, again, if you follow me on Twitter, I do spaces every day. I join spaces, I shell out pure value. My intention is not to sell, my intention is to educate people, and I'm going to continue doing that as long as I'm alive and as long as I'm in the industry. That will be my approach, and that's something that I'm continuously going to keep doing. But all of these haters, I see them as dogs, and I'm just going to keep walking as an elephant, right? I'm not going to deal with any of these people barking around, because none of those barking will stop me from growing at any point or stage in my life, because I'm not going to go through that depression phase again and give up on my life, because I have my parents, I have responsibilities over my shoulder, and I have responsibilities of my team who is relying on me every single day, and those 200,000 users who believed in me and have bought from Pitchground. So I'm not going to disappoint to any of them. And this is how we just keep on going things, and that's how, like, Pitchground has really become very aggressive with our approach. And you see that a different Udit or different aggressiveness in me in the last several weeks, especially post COVID. I've realized life is too short, and this is why I start leaving all of these crappy negative growths, because all they talk about is crap just to create drama, and I'm not that type of person. You might have not seen a single drama post inside any of the communities. I just focus on growth, and that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to continue doing. So
That's
Henry, that
awesome, right?
was that was my small TED talk for you.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? You went on for about 35 minutes. So I think, hopefully, that long introduction, has helped you, clear off whatever it's within you. And we want, and I've got quite a quite some issues that I want to bring up as well.
Sure,
And
please
of
go ahead.
course, Glenn right here, he's saying that, 30 minutes in and you're still talking about yourself, right? He wants to know why, I should buy from Pitchground. And of course, Glenn, he asked if there's any deals. I shared some right here. The first one I would say, of course, my favorite is Scale Nut, and I think it's a favorite for quite a few other people as well. Scaleify, Virus Die, G Cool, Certifier, Kubi, Giving, W3 Dot. So these are the ones that I've tested out. There are some that I'm really keen to test out, but I don't want to post it in here because I just want to share with you guys whatever is I feel is noteworthy on a pitch ground that you should take a look at. And I think that someone said, finally I can hear Henry's voice. So Udit, you might want to take it easy, right? With I know you're feeling very heated up right now. So while I was in the backstage, right before we go live, I was talking to some of the community members. Things are the conversation seems to be a little bit heavy today. So would you be open to maybe giving some doing some giveaways to whoever is on the stream today? Would that be fine with you?
Sure,
I know
sure,
we
definitely.
didn't plan for that, but maybe we could have something for these people who are actually staying on. I mean, they have been on the stream right now for about 25 minutes, just listening to you, right? Would
How
that
many
be
people are
fine with
there? I
you?
can't see. How many people are there? I can't see that.
We have, I think, about 25 people on the stream right now,
Okay, so let's
right?
let's do
And
this. All of those 25 people, just reach out to Henry right now. Just drop in, hi, and I'm gonna add a $50 credit to your Pitchground account. Go buy whatever you guys want.
right,
So
so
that's
so what
that's
what
over
you
a thousand
okay,
dollars
I'll
worth of
tell you what,
giveaway.
right? Whoever is on the stream right now, okay, can you just type into the chat, right? Type into the chat hashtag use your LTDs, right? Just type in hashtag use your LTDs, right? I didn't plan this with Udit at all. I'm just telling you guys, right? I'm just pushing my luck here, and
Yeah,
hopefully
Henry
you
is
guys
baiting me
get
right now. I
something.
feel Henry is just
Okay.
baiting me at this point on stage.
Right. So whoever types in use your LTDs, right? What are we giving them again?
Again, we're going to be giving $50 PG credit, not 49, not 48. We don't want you to pay, right? It's going to be $50 so you can buy because most of the products
So
are of
there's no
$49.
minimum purchase, $50, no minimum purchase at all.
Nope, nothing. You guys can buy whatever you want.
Wow, awesome, right? That is very generous of you, right, Udit? So all of you, you guys are going to get $50 in ground credits. Okay,
Why
so
do I see like the moment there is giveaway, Ritvik just comes in from nowhere?
right, yeah. So yeah, I mean, people are excited about that, right? So, I mean, we want to address some of the serious topics today, but of course, want to keep things light. So, I hope you guys who are watching this, don't be too critical. I mean, Udit is being generous here as well, and he's definitely is not being planned, right? Okay, so so I hope you guys are happy with it. Okay, so. Okay, the first issue is that you say that you focus on the customer, you want to make sure that they are happy, but I can see there is one particular individual, right, and he's going around because I think he was affected by the Zoom issue, right, and he is unhappy that he's being offered only a 50% refund in discount credits because your biggest competitor, which is AppSumo, and I think everyone knows that, you know that as well. I think that they have always it seems like they have always been refunding people 100% in AppSumo credits. Okay, and also even with the current big case that they are having, which is the Botstar case, right? Because the company is sort of pivoting, right, and they are no longer supporting the product. So AppSumo was initially also only offering 50%, but they are actually giving some people, from what I know, they're giving some people um 100% refunds, right? Of course, I guess the strategy is that because they are going to take a big loss for this, so what happens is that they are not openly telling everyone that there is 100% refund, so that they're hoping that some people are just going to accept a 50% refund, right? So, but the kind of the status quo is there is 100% refund. So and when you say you're taking care of customers like that, although I just want to mention, right, that the LTD community is really weird and different. Okay, because I sell on Amazon, and I sell on a bunch of different other marketplaces as well, but they are not SaaS marketplaces, right? And of course, if something goes wrong, I'm never gonna get 100% the refund at all from Amazon. I'm not gonna get a refund from Flipkart or Shopee or Lazada or whichever, eBay. They're never gonna refund me 100%. So I do think that a 50% refund is somewhat already generous. But because of how AppSumo conducts themselves, how they run their business themselves, they're giving 100% discount, which makes it difficult for their competitors, which is Pitchground included, difficult to catch up with them, I would say, right? So I would say that this particular individual is unhappy that he's not getting 100% refund, at least in the Pitchground credits, right? So um would you say that you're still taking care of customers that way?
So I would love to answer this big question of yours in a step by step way. So the very first thing, right? Um, if we talk about our competitors, they take 80% and slash out the small businesses, right? I wish as a company, that's amazing. I wish we could do that, right? But we cannot because that was one of the basis why we started the company, right? So we cannot do that, and that's not something that we're going to do, and that's why the ratio at Pitchground has flipped. 92 companies at Pitchground are still up and running, and 8% has failed, right? Versus the number is very high with any other competitors or any other company, because not only just with lifetime deal, we still keep on talking with most of the founders who still want our help in terms of growth. So we still keep on helping them out. So that's why I keep telling you and everyone that our business model is very different. What you guys are seeing is just like the front end of it. Now, the second thing is, there was a lot of lies told by the founder of that particular product, and we have, after the Otis situation that happened, right? We came out with this specific clause that if you take any money from any of the LTD community, you have to be alive for a minimum of 3 years. Now there is a difference, right? This is not a 3-year lifetime deal, which is what again many of the haters, many people spread rumors about. This is 3-year minimum. They have to keep the product online and serve the users. Even if they want to shut down in a year, they cannot do that, and if they do that, then they have to refund the entire amount back to the users, right? That means they're gonna give out their shares, and we're gonna give out our shares at that point of stage, making sure that the users get the entire money back. Now, if a company shuts down after 3 years, right? Again, we cannot predict anything what's going to happen 3 years, 5 years, because 3 years again is a lot of time. Pitchground itself is a 3-year-old company, by the way. So this company is shutting down after 3 years, right? And this is where the difference is, that we are trying to do our best. So if you have used the product after 3 years, and then if you're expecting 100% refund, that is not fair, because we work at 10 to 12% profit margin. That's it. Rest of everything goes into team, ads, marketing, our partners cost. All of these costs are associated, plus we have to constantly keep on innovating the platform, keep on developing. So there's a cost associated to run any business. We run at 10 to 12% profit margin. That's it. We do not run a profit margin higher than that. And yet, we, even when we offered that 50% to that individual, and not just that individual, anyone who reached out to us, we still ended up taking up a lot of loss, because we still paid out to our partners. We never reached out to any of our partners and asked them, hey, pay us back for this. Nope, we've never done that, right? All of the ad spends that we have done, all of the other spendings that we have done, right? We have made those expenses, and yet again, we still offered a 50% discount, 50% of refund back. And that too, they will still have the product until 2023. They are shutting down their company in 2023 because of that 3-year clause. We actually saved our customer and giving them, and they got 2 years of additional services. So this is what we are doing, and this is how we are going out there expecting 100% refund after 3 years of using any services is just a false expectation. And this is where, if we are not able to match your expectation because of this, we probably are not the right fit, and we are sorry at that point of stage, right? That's the only thing I can say. Like, we might not be a right fit. You can continue buying from somewhere else at that stage, because we cannot do 100% refund after 3 years, right? We are always trying our best at every single level. So again, whenever any situation comes in, we take time. Now, with regards to swipe bucket situation, we took a hit and loss of 50% right away. Yet people still have access to the product for pretty much the next several years now, right? But again, no one is highlighting on these factors of how we do things. So it is just not fair for any individual to use. If, like, we're not going to get our homes for rent free for 3 years, right? We're not going to get refunds on that, right? If you buy something from Amazon as well, Amazon is not going to refund you after 3 years, right? Maybe for a month, but that's it, right? So again, we always tell people that you have about good 60 days to evaluate your purchases, and we do not ask any questions. And in fact, we took down the feedbacks of the community, and our automated refund feature is already in our staging server. So maybe in like next 3 to 5 days, but by the end of this week, we are hoping that that feature will go live at the same time. So everyone who wants to, like, maybe process any sort of automated refund in those 60 days will be able to do that. And this is where we came up even with a much higher innovative idea, that we are taking with PG VIP membership is offering people a $300 PG protection. This is apart from the discount and other membership benefits that they're going to be getting, right? We just threw that in. Now, that might not be like a very big amount, but that is almost 3x of the amount of what we are getting paid still. So, and we're going to back up any of your purchases that you have done from your membership time, right? So that you can get that sort of a money back at the very least, right? So again, we are trying to take different new initiatives. Many There were many concerns and many rumors floating around. We probably got in touch with some insurance companies and we are insuring. None of those things happened, right? We're doing it ourselves. We are taking care of the customers. And again, this is the first initial step of us trying to innovate, trying to be a little different, and trying to like come out with some more innovative ideas to implement to protect our users at Pitchground. But again, all of these changes take time. It takes a lot of feedback and it takes a lot of progressing, which is kind of like a part of going through.
Right. If you don't mind me asking, and the first, I would like to bring up David's comment right here. He says that the argument that AppSumo can refund because they are bigger is not logical. If you are 50 times smaller, you should have 50 times less refunds. Simple math. And I would like to add on this as
So
well.
David, that's not a simple math. If you're taking 80% and you're taking 50%, it is not about whether your refund is 50x smaller or 50x larger. Your percentage is still a gap of 30%. That's a large gap, by the way. And then our competitor gives you back in credit and then takes 80% of that again. So if you do the maths, they basically aren't losing more than 20% of that credit as well. I'm just talking about a very, very simple math over here. So,
Yep.
David, you'll
So,
probably have to rework on your math in this case.
so I would like to bring up another point is that yes, maybe refunding 100% is going to cost you at least for what the person purchased for Zoom, right? But he is going to be happy with it, and it is more likely that he is going to come back and make more purchases after, right? Would you value you know possible lifetime value of the customer instead, and be open to doing that 100% refund?
Again, it's very subjective. As we are growing, we are learning, and as we are growing, we are again sort of taking feedbacks. This is a never ending process for any company, right? Again, we are learning on the processes and we are trying to innovate a lot faster. We're trying to move forward a lot faster based on those feedbacks. But at this point of stage, we are doing what we can do at best, because the last thing you don't want is the platform to shut down, right? That's the last thing you want, because that would mean like less good softwares, and that would also mean like you probably hunting down and giving someone a monopoly out there, right? And monopoly is never good for any businesses at that point of stage. So, but that's why like we're very open to having feedbacks, and if it makes financial sense, then we are always happy to make those decisions for our customers, right? But again, it needs to make financial sense in the long run. Right now, we are still very small. We're probably like 10% of our biggest competitor. That's it, right? As we keep on like filling up that gap, we're going to start getting more aggressive towards our customers. The kind of couple of projects that we are working on within Pitchground and the way we want to transform Pitchground, I wish we could share, but that will change the whole industry by 2023, right? And we are working on that tech inside Pitchground. I just wish I could share more. Right now, I just cannot share further and in depth about it.
Right. I do think that I think one thing that people did not consider is that with Swipe Bucket incident, there is a 50% refund, right? 50% refund, and you still get access to the new Swipe Bucket.
Exactly.
So technically, you can continue to use the product. You,
Exactly
you
my point.
actually got it for free.
Exactly
You
my
actually
point.
got the successor of Swipe Bucket for free, and you got 50% of what you paid for it on Pitchground in credit. So I think that's something to take note of. Is that if you actually bought from AppSumo, right, for the swipe bucket deal, and if you refund with AppSumo, that account is actually shut off. But if you actually bought from Pitchground, and you got the swipe bucket deal, you refund that, you actually get 50% in Pitchground credits, and you still keep access uh, to swipe bucket and the future successor of swipe bucket. So I think that's something to consider. But I think that with the Zoom issue, I think that's a little bit questionable, because I think that firstly, the founder seems to be malicious, right? Because it seems like he wanted to take advantage of the clauses in the contract that you sign with them. Um, I
Which product are you referring to right now?
Zrup.
So
Zrup.
that is not taking an advantage, Henry. That is actually our users being protected because of that clause. Because many a times, right, founders shut down their company because they lose the will. Sometimes they just don't know what to do. Sometimes they just lose the interest in the company or a project, because no one knows what's really going on with that individual and how they want to do it and how determined they are, right? And whether that particular project aligns with the vision. So what we have done is we have protected our users because of that one clause alone, that they cannot shut down, right? If they do, they have to refund. That actually protects our users, because if you are getting served for at least 3 years for any project, not only you would make your money back in terms of using the project, but you would have also generated ROI from that particular project. So it's a win-win, right? Nothing is forever, right? The only thing that's guaranteed in life is death. Nothing else is guaranteed, right? Except for a refund policy. Definitely it's 60 days, so you can ask for a definite guaranteed 60-day refund policy. But other than that, like, it's very very subjective, and it is not possible to force this of having to run your company for life. Because if you are trying to even go to a court, and if you have this clause that you have to serve all your customers for the next 10 years, 15 years minimum, that will make the contract one sided. And because of that, that complete contract is just gonna like break off right away.
Yep, I understand what you're trying to say is that the I think the fault is mostly I would from what I see is mostly on the founders side, and they are trying to take advantage of that 3 years. And that I do understand what is the approach right here is that you're forcing whoever signs a contract with you that the product has to be supported for 3 years. And I think 3 years at 3 years, I think that the it is much is actually very likely that you actually got your money worth already. But I what people are worried about is that people are going that some founders are going to come along and take advantage of that 3 year clause. Like for example, I think that with Botstar, I think that the founder is also malicious. That he came on and he ran a deal, and after 6 months, right? He after the refund period is over and he collected his money, then he pulled a stunt like this. That's what I think is going on,
So I
right?
would I would rather not comment on what's happening with other companies, and what's happening with the competitors. What I can say is that that clause is actually a protection and not a misuse at any point of stage. That's what I feel, is because you buy tomorrow, after 6 months, right? Once you get all of the payments and everything, there is a very high chance that the company can just go voila, right? And this clause actually protects on all of those cases. So it's a protection clause for the users, and it actually safeguards their interest, because again, we spoke with our lawyer about this, and we were like, how do we protect our users in the best possible way where we can actually fight in court if required, and this was suggested to us not just by one, two lawyers, again, and we took that into consideration because we were very selective that no, we have to ensure that this gets executed in a proper way. But again, we have to ensure that um, at any point of stage, the contract should stand in the court, right? Because if it's a one-sided contract, especially in the United States, we lose the battle on day one, because one-sided contracts are not allowed in especially in United States. I cannot comment on any other country, but at least in United States, because our company is registered over there. Yeah, that's another point that I wanted to raise, that we are a lawful company and we are registered in United States, which is one of the toughest country when it comes to law, right? And we abide every single law, every single taxation policies over there, and that should be one of the reasons why you should consider using Pitchground, because that actually protects you. The laws over there are so strict that we as a company have to ensure that we deliver and we are abiding all of those laws.
Right. But I do wish that hopefully in the future that you would consider doing 100% refunds as well.
We
Um,
have done 100% refund for orders already, plus we gave out softwares on top of that, so we have done that, right? What I'm saying is that after 3 years, expecting 100% for after using the software for 3 years, I feel is not a right expectation to have, and that's something that we cannot meet financially. That's just not possible, because if we start doing that, the platform itself will shut down in general, because no one knows what's going to happen after 3 years. No one. So
yep.
what's really
And
realistic and we can deliver, we are on to it. But things that are not possible, that's just not impossible. And that's why we added a small PG protection clause, which I told you that for every PGVIP members, if they buy any purchases after they get the membership, we protect them for a minimum of $300 at least, because we know that financially these are the things that we can sort of execute. This is apart from the other benefits that they get, which is like extra discounts and all of those things. And again, we are very open to taking feedbacks and working on those feedbacks, as long as it also makes financial sense on our end. Because again, we work at 10 to 12% profit margin, so if we give out even 50% discount or 50% refund, we end up losing that 40% from our own pocket at that point of stage, right? But if we keep doing that all the time, that 40% will end up leading to the death of the company itself, right? So financially, we have to make sure that things are right. And again, we always tell people, please use your software right away and get your money's worth. That's very important, right? Don't just buy because it's on a lifetime deal. Buy because you need it for your business.
yep. I have a question as well. Is that I think some people brought this up. Is that why does the Pitch Ground credits that they got refunded for have an expiry date?
Because that's the money that's coming out from our own pocket. And that's why we're giving them 3 months to utilize it.
But why do you need a
That's just some
expiry
of
date
our
on that?
that's just some of our
Because
policies. That's just some
because
of our
um
policies. Right? Every
because
company has different policies, right? So it's just one of our policy, and we are being as gracious as possible. So every single company have got their own terms, and one just needs to respect the term if they want to keep working with that company. So if you are running an agency, I'm pretty sure you have clauses like you're not going to refund, or you're going to refund if you don't deliver the services, right? Everyone has got their own policies, and those policies is something we are doing with our level best to protect our users. And this is something that's coming out of our own pocket, and we're doing our best once again. So we at this point of stage are not going to justify why, because this is just a term. Again, we are doing it for our users. And if you want to buy, you can always take advantage of this, and you have 3 months to make your next purchase. So we are being very gracious at this point of stage, we feel, and our customers have leveraged on that.
okay. Okay. So Martin brought up this point that some only had 30 days. Is that accurate, or is that
No,
some
that's it's
uh
90 days.
false
It's 90
news?
days.
All
I just
right,
want to
90
clarify,
days.
it's 90 days. So in case if you see any technical errors or anything, you can again always reach out to me, or you can reach out to support.
Okay, so this is news for all of you. Uh is that any refunds in credits in Pitchground, it's only 90 days, right? So those
No, no,
credits
no,
are
no. So
only
no, no. So we have two different wallets. We have PG incentives and we have PG credits. So credit is your own money that never expires. So
all
for
right.
example, if you refund a product into your PG wallet, for an example, right? That's your own money that never expires. And then we have PG incentives. So for example, right now we're going to be giving away $50 to whoever sort of commented, right? It's going to
Yes.
be added as PG incentive, and PG incentive by default in our tech has an expiration date. So if anyone wants to make a purchase, they will all have 90 days to make that purchase. If they don't, then that PG incentive will expire because it's an incentive. It's not the actual money, right? So if you
All
make
right.
a purchase and then you process a refund in 60 days inside your wallet, that never expires. You can rebuy, refund, you can purchase again. That's up to you. But if you're getting an incentive of any form, incentive has got an expiration date.
Okay, so incentive credits have an expiry date. So that means
Yes.
for refunds for Swipe Bucket, for Zoom, they are an incentive and not a refund, right? That
Yes,
means
correct.
you
And we
are
let people know
you
when we
it's
also
a
reply.
that means
uh,
your approach is that this is a bonus for you, and it's not something that you are entitled to.
Yeah, because again, this is something outside of our clause, and we are just doing it to back our customers in every possible way. So this is us trying to back our users, right? So that's why we have these two different wallets. One is your actual PG wallet, which is your actual money that you refund that never expires, and then we have PG incentive, and PG incentive have got a 60-90 days of expiration policy. So it will just expire right away because it's again an incentive. Because again, in our books of account, we have to show that, right? Because wallet, any money that is in the wallet, we have to show that as a depth inside our balance sheet, right? Incentives are not depth that we show inside the balance sheet, right? That's just an expense that we show. So this is also for accounting reasons that we have added in this way.
Okay, so the next question is on the VIP program that you have, right?
Mhm.
Because it comes with an insurance clause that your investments are protected, $300 a year, right? For the VIP membership that you pay
So
for.
I'll
So
explain the. If you want, I can
um
just explain it very quickly. It will be easier for everyone to understand.
sure, go ahead, please.
Okay, so right now, RPG VIP membership is something that we started only about a week or 2 weeks ago, roughly, and currently it's still under beta at the moment. So when I'm saying under beta, that means it's progressing based on user feedback, and we're constantly getting user feedback. So the first thing that is by default is you get 10% off on all your purchases, regardless. The second feature that we have introduced that went live yesterday was split payment. So split payment is now live on the platform itself. And this is something that no other company offers. So if your invoices are over $500, you get 2x of split pay. If your invoice is over $1,000, you get 3x of split pay. But again, this is an early stage. We are looking for feedback. We are looking to see how many people would be buying with how many invoices. So we will be rectifying this. We'll be making changes. We might lower the amount down. So if any one of you has a feedback for this, please feel free to reach out to me anytime. I would be very happy. And the third benefit that we have, again, that we're going to automating this very soon. It's still in the development process. Is we're going to back you up with $300 worth of direct credit. So let's say that now if you buy a $50 product and that fails anytime, even after 10 years, right? As long as you have that PG VIP membership active, it is not cancelled even once, right? We will be pushing that entire $50 right away. This is sort of us building up a bit of our loyalty program inside PG VIP membership. And this is the first initiative that we have taken. So at that stage, what happens is that since you have a membership, we know that you're a long term customer. and we're going to start rewarding our long-term customers in a better way. We're going to start building up a better loyalty program. But again, this is a work in progress. This is the first initiative. Over the next 3 to 6 months, our development is going to get much more aggressive. We're going to start offering, let's say, special discounts to even our regular loyal users versus the non-loyal users, who might not get discounts at all, versus someone who's been buying regularly with us every month. Then they will be getting a bit more discount of maybe another 10-15% at that point of stage. So this is work in progress. This takes a little bit of time, and we are executing everything one by one, and we are ensuring that this is all tech driven, so that everything is automated at every level now.
Right. So my question is, sorry, my question is, with the PG VIP program, right? Because you are already giving people 50% refund for whatever happened with Swipe Bucket and Zoom. What happens then? Let's say for a VIP member and a non-VIP member right now, is there a difference other than having 100% refund rather than a 50% refund? Is that 50% still going to be offered, or are you going to say that, oh, because you didn't get the VIP program, we are not going to refund you anything if any of your deals go sour later?
Great question. I think right now it's too early for me to comment on that because it's still something new. We still need some data. We still need to understand how our users are reacting to it and the feedbacks that we are going to get. And based on that, we will be making the required modifications and we'll be making the required changes. But right now, it will not be like right for me since I do not have the exact data to make a comment on this, how this is going to mold out. We cannot comment, but the only thing that I can say that every decision that we take will be in favor of our users at every point.
Okay. What I think what people are worried about is that, you rolling out the PGVIP program, and then you would in a way you would have an excuse to say, okay, for if you didn't join the VIP program, then you don't get any refunds at all from now on, right? Because we are only offering refunds
Again,
for the VIP
Henry,
program.
we have 60 days of refund policy. If people are very worried, I would always say two things: buy what you need. We as a platform do our due diligence, but you also do your own due diligence, and genuinely buy that you can implement something today, not 1 month, 5 months, 10 months, or a year down the road. Just what Henry says, use your LTD. Literally implement it in your business, get your money's worth right away, and you wouldn't be worried about all of these refunds after 6 months, 1 year, 2 year. The problem is that many people buy to resell after a year or hoard them, and that is a very wrong strategy because LTDs are not stock, and I've seen a lot of people sort of treating it in a stock way. So please do not do that. Only buy when you need something. You go on Amazon and you buy something when you need something from Amazon, right? You just do not buy because of any sort of like FOMO, or if you don't need it for your business or for yourself in general. So buy what you need for your business, and you wouldn't even fall into such issues at any point of stage in your business journey.
Right. But hopefully, when you have things worked out, we would have some kind of clarification on this as well. I think because people are worried that, let's say, if you are going to remove any refunds, if I'm not a VIP member, then, I'm going to lose out, right? If I want to continue purchasing from Pitchground, right? And then I would then want to consider getting the VIP program instead, right? So that's
We would
something.
always recommend that we are trying our best, but again, it has to be a nice balance. We will always ensure that we're taking the right decisions for our customers, but we'll also have to ensure that we are financially good and stable as a platform, as a company, because if that is not going to be the case, it takes a matter of like time before everything falls apart, right? And Pitchground for me is my bread and butter. This is not a side project for me. This is not a side hustle for me, right? I spend 16 hours a day on it at the moment to serve our customers. So again, whatever we do, any decision that we take will be in a combination of ensuring that it's in the best interest of our customers, and at the same time it is in the best interest of the financial decisions of the company to make that right balance and make the decision. And that's why if anything happens, we gradually like look into it what needs to be taken care of, because some of the situations are just subjective and subject based, and you have to take that decisions on subject basis and not just out of policies or anything in general, right? So we do not have any policy of refunding anyone outside of 60 days, by the way, but we go into subject cases and then make the right decision that is right and should be ethically right as a human, as a company. And that's how we execute it, because we are community driven and will always remain that way.
Okay, great. You have also one thing that I really like about Pitchground is that ever since I think everyone here knows about AppSumo, but I think that the quality of their deals has really been dipping. While Pitchground seems to be really aggressive in procuring some of some gems right here. In fact, one of the members here is actually saying that Kimson is saying this event is great. It clarified a lot of confusion that many of us had. I believe Peach Ground brought quite a few rare gems to the market, to be fair, and I do agree with Kimson as well. I think Skillnut is awesome. Skillify, a bunch of other gems as well. In fact, some that I did not discover then on Pitch Ground that later on went to up the other platforms. I realized that hey, these are really amazing ones, such as Pretty's AI, which ended I think about 2 months ago, right? And Byte Play, which was on Pitch Ground, I think last year as well. So these are like amazing deals that Pitch Ground is bringing, and but there is one big controversy recently, which is I think it's an amazing tool, right? Amazing collaboration tool. It's called Tascade, which I think you are aware of as well, because Tascade is a huge company, I think, and they seem to be giving away a lot of all these codes, right? And I think people are confused as to is this the free code, is that what Pitchground is selling? Is it the same thing? Because some people who actually got the free code, and they realize that it seems to be the same thing as what is being sold on Pitchground. Could you clarify that?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, please go
Okay,
ahead.
so when this entire issue sort of arrived, we got to know about this from the community. We did not know about what's really going on prior to that, right? Because them being a big company, they have pressures from their investors to just keep on growing, right? So definitely we are not going to be like the only channel, right? They're going to be working with multiple channels, and that's what every brand does. They work with multiple people. You cannot grow with just one individual. So when we got to know that, I reached out to John right away, who's the founder, because we directly speak with founders. We don't speak with like head of departments or anyone in the company. If you want to work with us, you involve founders, or else we're not going to work with you. We're very straightforward with regards to this with every company. If they don't involve their founders, we say them bye. This is also a part of our due diligence process, by the way. If we don't see the founders being very active during the entire conversation with us, we have let go of many such companies who have been. We signed a contract with, I think, about like three more companies that failed in our due diligence process of communication, right? If they cannot even communicate with us, we don't expect them to communicate properly with our customers. So we just told them goodbye, and we are not launching those three platforms that happened to that were supposed to launch this month. So with regards to Taskit, this was a new information to us, and we reached out to John, and John gave us uh, a piece of note in the task grid itself, which is what I think we shared with the community, that what is the difference, and we are just being a mediator of translating that conversation from the company to them. At the same time, John mentioned the same, right? Again, if you guys want, I can share the direct link of John's Taskade this right now. Just a moment. Let me just check my Slack. Okay, here you go. So I have the link. Where do I send it to you? Hari?
Like you want to share your screen or you want to paste it in
Oh,
the
let me. You want me to share my screen? Okay, let me just do that.
if you're fine with that, we
Yeah,
can just
that's completely fine. Hold on. Just that my for some reason my laptop is Restream is taking up so much RAM that my laptop is sort of lagging. So okay, hold on.
okay. So those of you who are looking at Taskade, I did a review on Taskade. It's amazing too.
Okay, so
Okay, so
check this
let's
out, right?
see. Yep.
This is not my note. This is a note that was shared by the Taskit founder himself, right? And this is what he gave us. See this. Notes from the call, free and unlimited. You guys can literally see how to redeem the codes. This is given to us. So this is something that we ask from every single founder, right? Whatever the differences are, how to redeem the codes, they give out the instructions to us. Is a part of our manual onboarding process. And as you can see, this is what we just shared out with everyone, right? So as you can see over here, that here is what the Pitchground LTD promo codes. This is what the difference is between the free promo codes that people received. That most likely this is not a true lifetime, and maybe it might expire in 1 to 2 years. That means that if you've just got it for free, they can actually terminate your account at any point of stage, or just move you into a free plan at any point of stage. That's up to them because they are not bounded by any legal or anything when it's free. And no one is bounded when it comes to free because there is no transaction. So as per law, if anything is free, no one is obligated or to kind of serve with each other, right? What is with pitch ground? This is an actual deal, right? This is you're making a transactional purchase with us. So this is the main difference. So in case if all of these codes expire, see this, right? All of the influencer-driven promotional codes have already been expired, and at any point of stage, if this happens, this is going to be the case. This was given to us by the founder of Taskade. We did not interact with their support or anyone else because there is a very likely chance that the support probably have no clue about what are the things, some of the things are going on because they're a very large company, and maybe their head of department are clueless because again we are interacting with John, the founder, directly, and this was given to us by John himself directly. As you can see again over here, let me just show this. See this. As you can see, this is John's space, right? And he is the owner of this space. I'm even showing that this was not created by me. It was created by John, and John shared it to me over here as an editor, right? So again, you guys can see we're always transparent with our approach. We're always 100% honest with how we do things, how we run businesses. So this is the complete situation, right? Now, as a user, I understand that there can be some confusions at times or some challenges at times. I can completely understand and resonate, but we are just one platform, right? What happens outside of the platforms in other places, it's out of our scope, and there is nothing much we can do because again it's free. And if a company is distributing something for free elsewhere, we cannot ask them not to do that, right? Because we are just one marketing channel. Unless until we can guarantee them $10 million in sale in next 1 year, right? Then they'll probably do like such kind of thing. But if not, then companies are free to do whatever they want. So this is the difference between the task at free plan and the paid plan. You actually get everything for unlimited, but for one workspace. And also I want to reveal one thing in Henry's webinar to let you guys know when this happened. We had been speaking with John every single day, and we are trying to push to make it 2 or 3 workspaces for the same price for all of the users who have already made the purchase as of now. Right? Again, we're trying to do the best in the interest of the users, but some things take time because when you're dealing with companies, it's negotiation. There is a lot of talk back and forth that happens, especially with a company like Taskade, which is a large company. They're not a small company. So it just takes a little bit of time to sort of execute these things. But again, we will always do things in the best interest. If you've gotten anything for free, you are already at risk because if you put in your entire business into it, and if they end up terminating your free account, right, or move you to the actual free account after finding out that there was some sort of loophole or bug, which is something that happened with Notion recently, where everyone was excited that they are sorted for the next 50 years, 60 years, or they'll probably like pass Notion to their kids when they sort of die, right?
Yeah.
But boom, you wake up and all your hopes and dreams are crushed, and you are like, you cannot pass Notion to your kids anymore. I was one of them. I thought like I'm sorted, right? Though I don't use Notion, I thought probably thought, and boom, you wake up and you're like, all your credits are gone, and you're back to square one, right? And again, sometimes companies make some collaborations with certain users for certain aspects of the things, and they made that collaboration with edtech companies to promote and help educational users and students, basically, right? This is something that happened with Grammarly long back, that Grammarly gave out a lot of free codes to the educational institutes, and people misused and started selling them when they found out, because when it's large organization there can be a leak within the organization at any point of stage, and it takes some time to get to know about these things. Once it does, the company just take action and kills off all of these things, because they did not get paid, they have full rights to cancel that. So this is what I would recommend, that if you genuinely love Taskit, and by the way, it has become one of my most used tools right now, because I use the two-way sync of Taskade with Google Calendar every single day to keep myself updated with all the notifications. And then when I use Calendly on top of that to book my meetings, my Google Calendar already sends that update to Calendly that, hey, I'm going to go for a walk at this time, so I don't have to manually update every little things inside Google Calendar. So again, it's a brilliant software. It's a brilliant tool. It's a brilliant company, amazing founder. They're pushing new updates every single week. For a large organization like them, pushing features every week is no joke. That's some serious a DevOps work that goes over there. If you like that, please go ahead, get Taskade. It's going to be one of the best purchases you will make, because the product is very rock solid. With regards to free, this is the whole situation. We're again trying our best to push that 2-3 workspace. We might have some news in the next few days, because we are in the final stage of negotiation for all of our users. So we'll
Sure.
always do everything to protect the best interest of every pitch grounders.
Awesome. I think that the distinction between the I think no one worried about Tascade, but the issue is that there needs to be a clear distinction between the free codes that they are giving away and also the one that is selling on Pitchground right now. For
We did.
example, this is a screenshot. Let me just bring this up here. This is a screenshot that was actually shared in my community recently, and this particular one right here, it says that in the description, the video description right here, it says that the first 1,000 users to use the coupon code, okay, will get Tascade's lifetime subscription for free. Okay, lifetime subscription for free, right?
So
And I don't believe that this is actually their free forever plan. Okay, this is not the free. That means you just sign up a free account without any promotional code. That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about the pro plan that you put in the code, and you get like 250 megabytes per upload, something like that. Okay, because it clearly says here that you will get Tascade's lifetime subscription for free. So this is why I think that I think you are great at winning some of these deals over, but I think people are worried that maybe Tascade, in their conquest to get a ton of users, might be making use of Pitchground um to get a hit. So I think you know
so
we we
Henry,
may need to, yeah, we may need
Henry,
to
I
have
think that's
a
a
clearer
great
distinction here.
concern. Yeah, so that's a great concern that you have raised. But then again, we cannot stop a company from doing certain things or using certain channels, because we don't know what's really going on, and what sort of a free code that is, or what sort of a paid plan that is. There was a clarity that was required with regards to a certain code, and we gave that clarity, right? That, look, here is the situation, here is the differences. I just shared the task head notes, right, that was shared to me by John himself to me directly. I shared that openly with you guys, right? I even shared that it was shared by John from his own personal Taskade workspace. So that's the best we can do. Apart from that, how the company operates and works with different influencers, we have zero control over it, because there could be a lot of features that could be missing out, because it is very vague that it says lifetime subscription. Now what that subscription is, it's sort of very hard to really say. And if we start going into, let's say if they have worked with 1000 influencers, we cannot go and speak with every 1000 influencers deals that they have done. It's just very hard, and it's sort of impossible for us to do that, because that's not our job to do, right? So we come back and we work things out in the best interest for our users at all point of stages. But it is not fair for us to go ahead and ask what kind of deal that they're doing with all of those 1000 influencers or 2000 influencers, because then we are just being distracted from what we are supposed to do. But instead, what we are focusing on is building communities. We are focusing on how to use the product, how to do certain things. And if you like the product, then you can go ahead and purchase. Even at $150, the product is top notch. It's amazing, right? Now, uh, Shopify did an LTD back in 2013. Zapier did an LTD back in 2012, right? Company progresses in different ways. Company uses different channels in different ways. So the companies many a times that are offering the kind of deals that we are bringing in, they don't do that ever. So for example, for the last 8.5 months, we are working with a true Ahrefs alternative enterprise grade solution for all of you guys. It's in negotiations for 8.5 months, and it's still under negotiation. We are working out on the way. And sometimes I've seen some of the comments as well that people ask, why do some of the products are very expensive, right? That is because of the cost associated. Founders do not want to do that because they have a certain way of running their organization. And today, onboarding good quality people is very expensive, right? You can have a cheap team and you can have a cheap product, or you can have a top notch team, but that also comes with a higher cost, right? There's a higher quality of things. So there's qualities everywhere. So you just got to pick what the quality is. So 8.5 months we've been working on that specific deal, and again, we are halfway through, and we are expecting another 6 months before we close them. So it's going to be almost like 1 year and 3 4 months to close one deal for all of you guys. That's the amount of effort that we put in for each one of you. So at $150, I think if you like the product, don't be worried about, oh my god, I did not get it for free or not, or you just need to look into whether it's a right fit for your business and whether I can make my ROI back. Whether it's $10, $20, $50, $100, $200, it does. The price will really be very subjective to every individual, to every businesses at every stage. So, for example, I have a very high subscription right now of Ahrefs as well, and I'm considering to move my subscription to this enterprise very soon. But this enterprise is 3x more expensive than Ahrefs, by the way, in pricing, because they are very high quality data company. So again, it just comes down to what really fits into your business and what ROI that specific product can generate from you. For me, Taskit is no brainer, and I've started building communities on it. By the way, like a different sort of communities combining Discord and Taskit. I've started building a beautiful combination, and I am now going to start building different communities on Twitter around it, using Taskit as a main source for all sorts of lists and things, and task and use it as a project management. But at the same time, Discord as a complete communication channel. So again, I combine both of them. It's a no-brainer for me, because if I can manage unlimited subspaces under one workspace, I can create unlimited communities and unlimited tasks inside that, and just keep on creating like different communities in Discord for free again, and then just combine both of those combination, and voila, I have a brilliant setup done. So sometimes some of the things can cost a bit more, a bit less. What you have to always ask is, can I make my ROI back for my business?
Yep, I definitely agree with that. Um, I think with Taskit, we may not have a clear distinction, right? But at least if
I can
you
just share
trust,
the link once again, Henry, if you want, of direct link of
yep,
John.
yep. Do you want to share that?
So yeah, just a moment. Let me see if it's just shared with me, or can I share it with? Is it like public link or not?
Yep. So the link that
Okay,
Udit
so
is
it's
about
a
to
public
share, right?
link. Let me just give you on private, so you
Yep,
can just share it with the community anytime you want.
yep.
Just a moment.
So this link that Udit has shared is from the founder of Taskit directly. So if
Yeah.
you it's now, I would say that it's now up to you whether you want to trust the free code or the lifetime deal from Pitchground, right? And I would say that as a lifetime deal, it's $145, and you get unlimited everything on one single workspace. I think it's more than um it's more it's actually a very very good deal,
Yes,
right?
unlimited users and unlimited workspace is amazing. Especially, let's say that if you have 50 clients, you don't have to worry about paying more than $145 ever
Yep,
in your life. And if
yep,
you grow to like 200 team members, it's still the same price. Like it
yep.
gets paid
Still the
off.
same price. Yep. So with so it's so I would say that if you trust the whatever is on this link right here, okay, you would
So,
if you trust
Henry,
whatever is on there, then you know
Sorry to interrupt you.
yep.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I have a very good news for you. Just got a confirmation with my team right now that that you guys are going to get three workspaces and not one workspace anymore. So
Okay,
there you
awesome.
go. Now your cost per workspace goes down to $50 right away.
Right.
So this is an exclusive news that I'm just sharing with you guys right now. Like I just got the notification.
Right, awesome, right? So if you are actually um buying the Tasket lifetime deal from Pitchground right now, you actually get three workspaces, okay, instead of one right now. So there is some differences in there. And the difference I would say also is that if you are not paying anything for Tasket, and and then if you paid something, if you paid for the lifetime deal from Pitchground, I think there is a lot more assurance that your pro plan is going to be, is much more secure, right? Your lifetime deal is much more secure than a free LTV, right? That's something to
Free
consider as
plans can
well.
be cut down by companies anytime. They one
Yep,
just needs to be careful, right?
yep,
If you're building up your business on a free plan of any product, that's always very risky proposition that you need to be careful about, right?
yep.
Uh,
And
so
there's
again,
very
our,
little recourse for yourself as well, right?
yes.
Because you did not pay anything, right? Okay.
So imagine
Uh,
you building your entire business on a free plan, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
right. Okay. So Kai asked, right, what is the advantage of Taskit over Notion? I have if you visit my YouTube channel, right, I have a review of Taskit, and I can tell you, I wasn't really keen about project management tools at all. But after testing out Taskit, I can tell that it's a crazy tool and what you can do with it. Like literally anything that you have in your mind, you can put it out onto Taskit itself, right? It's a highly recommended tool, right? Whether you want to use the free one or you want to go with the Pitchground lifetime deal is up to you. But I definitely recommend that if you don't have any project management tool on your hands, definitely want to try out Taskit, right? So last thing that I want to bring up is that I think it's more of a conduct of yourself, right? Is that it seems that sometimes, I mean, of course, it could be because of how the community behaves. Some of us, we may be overly critical of Pitchground. Just like I had to bring up something as well yesterday because I see people talking down about Taskit, and I tried this, is really amazing, and people are comparing it with ClickUp, Notion, and what, Asana, and I'm like, hello, are you comparing the right tools? I mean, you're taking whatever is a monthly payment kind of deal, and you're comparing it with something that you can pay one time, right? And it's only $145, and people are saying like $145 is too expensive. Like, which project management tool or collaboration tool that you have that's out there that you can pay $145, get unlimited users, unlimited subspaces and whatever it is. I just can't find anything like that at all, right? It's not,
Henry,
you can go
just
to
to add,
all the lifetime deal sites, all the marketplaces, you will never find a project management tool that is able to offer such value at this kind of price. So I find that some people are just trying to find things to say negative about the Pitchground by attacking some of your deals. And I don't think that's right, because some of these deals are actually good. These are good companies. They've got good products, and I think that they deserve to succeed as well. Right. So lastly would be, as I mentioned, would be your conduct, right? I find that a lot of toxic people around as well, but it seems like you may be throwing out some lawsuits, um, or at least threats of lawsuits, quite casually. What do you feel
No,
about that?
no,
Because
no,
I
no, no,
think that
Henry.
some
It was
people
just to
may be very
Henry.
offended when you start throwing out some of these legal
Uh,
threats around.
Henry, am I audible by any chance? Hello.
Yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So what I was saying was it was just to one individual, because there is a difference between feedbacks. There is a difference between being critical. There's a difference in giving opinion, and then there's a difference in defaming a company straight up, without facts, without anything. There's a difference in that, right? And one has to understand these differences, and one has to understand that just because it's internet, that doesn't give anyone right to defame anyone, right? And it was just to that one individual. We did not, or I did not mention anything, and I was very clear about my first part of the comment. I think those comments are public, where I clearly said that if you do not have your facts right up, come and contact. That individual was not even our customer, has not bought from us, and did not contact me once or contact the company, right? The sole goal was to defame, stir drama, and defame us to cause losses. That's defamation, right? Again, there is a difference. If people have opinion about me, I'm completely okay. I don't bother about it, right? Because everyone can have opinion about anyone. But if you're going to defame a brand or any brand without even confirming or reaching out to company, you cannot hide it behind an opinion or a feedback, right? If you're going to attack a company, you have to ensure that what you're talking about is is actually backed up by things, and you're actually giving out genuine information to people. So one has to always understand this difference, and I also do that as a consumer. I don't go out there and start shitting on random companies or anything, because this can have serious implications if I'm not a customer. Right now, there was this other individual that you mentioned about Z Room, right? He went ahead and made some post about it. Did we go ahead and tell them, no, we're going to sue you and everything? No, we did not. It doesn't make sense. That's his genuine feedback as a customer. And I just commented, we are sorry that we cannot meet your expectation. You have certain expectation as a customer. We know you're upset. We know you're angry. We tried our best to give you a solution, but that's the best we can do, right? We handled our customers in a very unique way, because we genuinely that's our responsibility at that stage. But someone who is not even a customer and just wants to stir drama, right, and just gonna talk crap about a brand, that is defamation. And that's something that people have to understand, that, right? You go ahead, have your opinion about things, but don't bluntly, randomly crap out on the companies. If you do that, you be ready for what can happen next. So that's the difference. And apart from that, I've never spoken about lawsuits. I and for the couple of people who did defame me, you need to ask them what I did in terms of lawsuit, right? So if defamation happens, I'm going to take action against it. If it's just an opinion from a genuine customer, that is a feedback for me, and I'm always going to appreciate that. Whether it's good, bad, I am always ready to improve. I'm always ready to take the feedbacks, and I'm always ready to work on those feedbacks. But defamation and just to create drama, that's not me. And I'm going to be handling those situations very differently. So I will be very passive when it's required, I will be very aggressive when it's required, but I'll also be very subtle when it's required. That's just me, and I'm going to do that to protect my brand at every point of stage.
Right. Hopefully, some of you have some ideas, as in, have some insights about why Udit is putting out some of these threats, right? But I do see that that some past customers of Pitchground that are unhappy with Pitchground. They weren't actually being threatened by any legal suits at all. So I think the line is a little unclear here, but I mean this ultimately it's your conduct, and also since that you have also left some of the Facebook groups, so I think that you know hopefully we will see less of this legal suits being thrown around, and I
Hey,
think it's
trust me,
a
if
community.
these groups
And
would if these groups would start having a lot of positive discussions, and there is a talk about growth, I would love to be a part of them. But if it's just gonna be like randomly talking out like and defaming companies, talking crap about founders, right? There's just too much negativity that happens. I usually part ways from negativity at all kind of stages, because again, post COVID, life has taught me life is too short. You need to focus on growth, surround yourself with positive people, and just focus on growth in general, right? Everything else will follow through in that, but focus on growth. And that's something that's very critical, because that's what that incident taught me. When I saw my dad in the hospital when I was going through shit, it was just a very rough period for me. So I came out strong from that, and that's why you see me taking a very different approach altogether.
yeah, I think that I think the best focus is still, of course, your own business, which is Pitchground, and all for all of us, we also have our own business to
Exactly.
manage, right?
Exactly,
But
100%.
I would say that um, just purely focusing on positivity is not my cup of tea, right? Because there are some groups out there as well. That seem to only be talking about positive, uh, positive, on certain tools, but actually they are complete trash because I've tested them out as well.
No,
And
so
I give.
Henry, what you're saying right now is a feedback. It's an opinion. There's a
Yep.
difference. That's what I'm trying to say. That there's a difference in defaming any company and giving your feedback, review, and opinion. There is a difference in these terms, right? So let's take an example that if you did not even use the software ever, did not do anything, right? But you just start talking random stuff about a company,
Oh yeah,
right?
I am
Then that's
against that, right?
defamation.
Yep, I am against that, and that's why I made the post yesterday as well. Telling people that some of these people that they've never even tested and never even tried
Hundred
testing.
percent, hundred percent. I hundred percent agree with you.
And personally, because I've tested, I've used it, love it. I just don't see why some people can come out and say that $145 is too expensive. Sure, show me a deal, any project management tool that you can get unlimited, everything, just for $145, or
And also
uh,
the product quality as well, by the way. It's
yep.
top
and
notch.
and 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 people are like comparing with ClickUp, Asana, Notion. Like sometimes people just if you are paying for those kind of tools, you shouldn't be here, man. Like why are you even here? That's what I don't see the point. Like some of these people are just talking down some tools, right? And then later on the tool goes somewhere else, then they'll say, oh, it's no longer in Pitchground, it's somewhere else, and they suddenly say that is really good. I just see like people should just focus on the tool. That's all I care about, right? It's been a great session. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share, right, Udit? Maybe tell us about some of the tools, some of the deals. I'm sure that, of course, you want to say that everything on Pitchground is awesome, but maybe you could at least tell us, like, personally, what would you feel that like it's a that we should actually look out for, especially for the Black Friday. Do you have any insights about Black Friday? Because I saw one of your team members also said that there are more than 10 more deals that is coming on to Pitchground. Maybe you could share some of the maybe give us some insights or some secrets about what's coming.
So we have a software which is the first of its kind that has never been offered on lifetime deal, as far as I know. I could be again wrong, but because there's so many tools coming out, so there could be a chance I could have missed out. It's known as Get Secured. Fantastic product, fantastic stuff, and a brilliant founder based out of India. Amazing security person, have been in the industry for so long, and now starting his SaaS journey. I think that's one product that you guys need to look out for. It can genuinely help you to create reports, security reports that you can go out there and sell for like $500,000. Like if you just focus on like mid-size or enterprises, basically, that's a very good one. Light funnels is an absolute beast. Like if you run funnels by any chance and if you miss out light funnels, you will regret, because the quality of the tool is unmatched. The speed, the overall build of the quality of the software is phenomenal, and the speed of the loading speed of the applications, it's incredible, all backed by AWS and Cloudflare SaaS. So Cloudflare SaaS is the SaaS solution that is offered by Cloudflare that takes care of all the DDoS protection. It takes care of all the security, premium CDN for all of the things that are happening in the platform. So that is incredible. Light funnels, please do not miss out on that. And again, if you guys are looking to make a ton of purchase this Black Friday, we are going to be offering a never before done stuff ever. Not even our competitors have done that, and they will probably, the moment we announce, they're probably thinking, what do we do now, right? We're going to be offering 24% discount starting from 26th of November at 12 p.m. your local time, right? I will be sharing out the coupon code with Henry that he will be sharing with you. But now what we have done, this is another thing, Henry, how we take the feedbacks into picture. So when we told people that the 24% discount is going to reduce by 1% every hour and will go down to 0% by the end of 24th hour, a lot of people suggested us and gave us a feedback that it is not possible for them to stay awake at like 4 a.m. to make a purchase, or 3 a.m., and that's not fair for us to ask. We took that as a feedback and innovated. Now that coupon code will work based on your time zone. So it will start at 12 p.m. on your time zone. So Henry is, I think, 3 hours or 2.5 hours ahead of my time zone. So
Yep.
Henry's 12 p.m. will come ahead, and he will be the first person to actually take leverage of that entire deal. And then someone from Australia would be able to leverage on that, because again the time zone is ahead from India. They will be able to take advantage of deals ahead of time. This gives everyone a fair opportunity to really leverage on your entire 24-hour window without pushing you to compromise on your health. We're not asking you, and that's why we started the whole deal at 12 p.m. and not early and not too late, because that's a very sweet time. Everyone is awake and you can get going, right? Again, we are trying to innovate, and this is the kind of discount when we have never offered. Now if you get PG VIP membership along with that, that's 34% discount. We are making losses over here, by the way, guys. We are not making any money in this specific deal. We are losing money, but we're hoping that a lot of you guys will go and get the PGVIP membership, because that's something that we keep 100% to ourselves. And that's the only way how we are really actually making some money to a point. But again, if you end up buying a lot of products, we don't make money, right? So if you buy less products, we make some more money, right? But if you end up buying a lot, that is actually we losing money at that point of stage. We're losing a lot of money, right? But then again, this is how we are executing things, right? We're taking steps at a time. So if you want 34% discount, the get PGVIP membership right now, because by the end of the day, the price will be, I think, $119. My team is working on that. It starts at 12 p.m. exact your local time. So you don't have to worry about a US time or Canadian time or Singapore time, Indian time. No, it's 12 p.m. your time zone. It will start. I'll be sharing the coupon code with Henry, so he'll be sharing that coupon code with you guys. Just go ahead, enter that coupon code, and get PGVIP membership. Buy whatever you want, 34% discount. And also by the end of this week, we should have our automated refund going live at the same time. So in case if you don't like any product, I think by end of the week, as soon as we are done, we'll be making an announcement. So hit the refund button and it will be to your source payment in a matter of 1 second, basically.
Yep. Would you would it be possible, like, because I know that you can see like quite some people in the chat is very excited right now. Okay, and is it possible for us to add some of these deals to our cart right now? And then when it comes to the Black Friday discount, we can just check out on the day itself, because we only have an hour, right?
Yes,
We
so
don't
by
want anything
25th, so
to
Henry,
screw
by
up, and then we
25th,
lose 1%, right? If we are buying like funnels agency plan, we are losing like how much, 20-30 bucks, just gone like that.
yeah, so Henry, so by 25th, all the products that would be out there would be on the platform. So you would have one whole day to check out whatever you want to buy. You can keep everything in your cart, no problem. As soon as the 12 p.m. comes in, you can just add the coupon code that I'm going to give it to you, and that can be used. I think there's one question about using the credits for buying membership that is sadly not possible because it requires an active card, because that's how we do the validation, and that's why when we do split payment, we ensure that the right person is making that purchase of the split payment. Because in the past we did offer split payments to a point where many people would stop responding. We have to even deal with those sort of issues. So this is why we sort of like validate. So the credit can only be used to make your direct purchase and not for PG membership. So you can make a direct $99 purchase right now and then use that $50. By the way, if you buy that, then you can use that $50 directly to sort of make a direct product purchase. So Henry, I think I'll probably read the comments for the ones who left that comment. Use your LTD in the comment and give me until like later today. I'll reach out to all of you guys, or you guys can just ping me if you want, and give me your Pitchground email address, account email, and I'll add the incentive with a 90-day expiration date on it so that you guys can buy whatever you want.
Right. Some of them did commented twice, but I believe they are, you're only going to get 50 bucks from you, right? But just make sure that hopefully we can all get the credits before the Black Friday, so we can make use of them. And I think that Glenn asked a very nice question, which is what is fresh on Pitchground? Like not a one in the dozen two, right? Something cool and new and fresh. I think QA pop is something that I would love to try, because it's more about Quora, and we don't really see much Quora tools on lifetime views, and I think gifting is also very unique. Kubi is definitely one that I highly recommend as well, because it is a WhatsApp. It helps you to organize your WhatsApp, right? And it's great for business. It's great for personal life as well. And let's see. I think.
I think the word fresh is very sort of like subjective to every individual, because
Yeah.
everyone has got a unique use case, right? So we as a marketplace will just keep on bringing awesome stuff.
Yeah, and personally for me, I think everyone knows me is that Skill Nut is definitely the best one that I would recommend everyone to purchase. Right, I know that sometimes Pitchground puts out some deals that can be is not something that we expect, right? In terms of the price wise, it's not something that we expect. But Skillnut does have a more economical plan that works for individuals and small teams as well. So definitely look out, check out Skillnut. All right. And I would say that Skillnut is definitely one tool that is going to make you back the money easily, because if you just keep
Or ScaleNet is one of my
reading the
favorite tools.
content in there is just amazing, right? So
We have been
that's all.
making all of our money back from it already.
Yep. Right. So that's all I have. Udi, any last words from you before we end off the stream?
Yeah, I just want to add. I want to thank everyone for listening to me, and I want to thank Henry for actually organizing this. Just wanted to lay out everything right in front of you guys, so that you guys can take the right decision. What I would just say one thing is I will do everything possible to be on our customer side and do whatever it takes to be there and support our users, our customers, in the form of webinars, in the form of ensuring that the deals doesn't go south. Everything, whatever it will happen, will ensure that we work in the best interest of the users, of the community. And that approach is not going to change ever. It's only going to get better over a period of time, as we keep on getting bigger, as we keep on adding more users, because we will be able to take much better decisions on behalf of our users. So that's something that we'll continuously keep on doing, and that is going to be one of our sole mission, and we're never going to get distracted on that. Just wanted to add that for all of the users.
Awesome, right? I definitely do wish that Pitchground keeps growing, because I feel that the market is quite monopolized as well. And I'm glad that Pitchground and other some of your competitors as well. I feel like maybe they might be even your friends, rather than competitors. Because they are also putting out some really good deals.
I want
On
everyone to grow, Henry.
Yeah, because as the industry grow, I think everyone gets the benefit as well, right? We don't have to see that we are all competitors in here. So that's all I have. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. We have some people saying that it's a good session. I'm happy that Udit decided to come along. In fact, he offered to be on stream, to talk to us just before the Black Friday as well, so that we can prepare and have a better expectation of what's coming as well. Right. So that's all I have, and I'll see all of you in the next episode of Decisive Talks. And those of you who are going to be claiming your $50 PG credit, be sure to send a message to Udit, and hopefully Udit, because I know that there are some haters in the chat here, right? And maybe you might not even want to interact with them at all, but hopefully,
No, I don't see anyone as hater, Henry. I always see them as being critical, and that's completely okay with me, right? You can always give your feedback as long as it adds value. I'll actually take those feedbacks, right? And we actually need some of these people because it helps us to spread the word about some of the tools, which otherwise is difficult.
Yep. Because I think that maybe some of them might be even be blocked by users, so you might not be able to see them as well, and they might not be able to send you a message as well. Uh, but I think that this could be a chance for them to redeem themselves, because they get to try out what is on Pitchground, right? So hopefully, maybe you would allow them to maybe send your support a message or something like that to claim those $50 credit as well.
Yeah, so I'll just reach out to the people who left those comments about half an hour ago. I can see
Awesome.
the timeline, so I'll just reach out to them. So that will be the best way, because I think there were like 20, 25 people, not much. So I would be able to easily handle that by myself. So just give me like until the end of the day, and I'll reach out and I'll add those incentives to your account.
Awesome, right? And thanks everyone. I'll see you in the next episode of Decisive Talks. Thanks, Udit. Bye bye.
Thank you so much, guys, and have a great one, everyone.